Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about elasticity of supply. Now, elasticity of supply of a commodity measures how much will suppliers or the supplying mechanism respond to any change in price. That is, will it respond more or will it respond less in proportion to the change in price? Alright. Now, how do we measure this? Just like the elasticity of demand formula, we have a very similar formula where instead of percentage change in demand, we have percentage change in supply in the numerator. Denominator is the same, percentage change in price. As both supply and demand are measured in quantity, here the symbols used for quantity are the same. Now, based on this, even the names of the types of elasticity are very similar. So you have unitary elastics of supply, where a given change in price results in equally proportionate change in quantity supplied, as you can see in the figure to the right. This gives us an elasticity value of 1, where change in price change in supply divided by change in price is equal to 1. The next type is perfectly elastic supply, where small changes in price result in infinite change in supply. So, as an example, let's take a look at the graph. When price changes just a little bit, 0.00000001, the change in supply is infinite. Now, people at this price are willing to supply whatever is required by the market. On the other hand, we have perfectly inelastic supply, which is opposite, where we have no change in supply as a response to change in price. This is due to the fixed quantity of production by the supplier, irrespective of the price. So if you can take a look, the price is increasing but there is no change in supply. This is especially true for goods like uranium, plutonium, which have a lot of controls and which we do not want to fall in the hands of many countries. So whatever the price they are willing to offer, we do not supply to those countries. Then we have relatively inelastic supply, where a given change in price results in less than proportionate change in quantity supplied. That means price may increase by a large amount, but supply will increase by very little. As you can see here in this particular graph, price increased by a lot, whereas the quantity supplied increased by very little. This leads to a very steep supply curve. So if you see the slope of the supply curve, it is very steep, and the elasticity value becomes less than 1 as a result of this. Relatively elastic supply, on the other hand, a given change in price results in more than the proportionate change in quantity supplied. That means a very small change in price will lead to extremely large changes in quantity supplied by the supplier. So here, as you can see, when price increases from P to P1, very small increase in price, and the supplier is willing to supply at this price a large amount of output or stock of